How can you navigate through family in a positive way after trauma in the family? Incest to be. Hey, it's May Uplifting Others. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, hey, Uplifters. Navigating through trauma and dealing with that can be hard in itself. But what if it's in your family? How do you navigate through that in a positive way, in a way that can help the victim or survivor of trauma? How can you positively navigate through family when the trust in family has been broken? If you are new here, my name is, of course, Nay. I am a survivor of childhood incest trauma. You can watch my previous videos in my story playlist to get a feel of that. But I really want to talk about how to navigate, or how I feel like families should navigate through the process of dealing with trauma that has happened in the family. It is hard to deal with someone being a predator in your family, and it's also hard with knowing how to deal with someone that has been abused in the family. When I say abuse, it could be, I can only speak for myself and talk about myself because I've dealt with it. I'm in my healing process, so I can only speak for myself. And this advice is just me thinking from a more healed place, and me coming from a place of just wanting to help other families that have dealt with this, that are dealing with this, and want to find a way to heal the family. I feel like families, first of all, need to believe a victim when they come forth and they say that someone has touched them. It doesn't matter who it is in the family. Doesn't matter if that person never gave you a predator vibe. If the person is nice to you or they're good with people, does not mean that they're not an abuser. Unfortunately, in a lot of cases, family members are the ones to abuse children. It doesn't, even adults, teenagers, it doesn't matter. It's mostly someone that you know or in the family that has abused you or have abused survivors or victims. I have notes, of course, but it's me coming from a more transparent way. I have key points, but I really just want to get this point across. People have to stop protecting predators before they protect the victim of the abuse. We don't want to see our loved ones go to jail. I can't say we. I'm not. Some don't want to see their loved ones go to jail for what they've done. But at the same time, someone is suffering because nothing was done about what has happened to them. So how do they deal with it? First, you have to realize that the trauma took place. You have to report it. It's hard to, you don't want to get someone in trouble. I don't understand why, because why would you want to protect a predator? But you have to report it. Make the victim of the trauma feel safe. Feel like they are not the reason why it happened to them. And a lot of families, they want to blame the victim for their trauma, and it's never okay to do. So I want people to be mindful of how you treat a victim or survivor of abuse that's in the family. You never want to make them feel like they're the outcast. You never want to make them feel like they're the outcast or something is wrong with them because of what has happened to them. I'm speaking for experience. I did not feel a safe space to share how I felt when I was a kid. I didn't know how I felt. I wasn't given that space or that choice to just talk and vent because maybe my loved ones didn't know how to navigate it. And that's why I'm here. This is why I am here. Unfortunately, but fortunately for those that will see this video. Being a child that dealt with trauma, and the person that caused my trauma was my uncle. So I did not know how to feel. Like, that was one of my favorite uncles. I didn't know how to feel. I did not know how to deal with life for a long time. I did not know. I just wanted to forget what happened to me. And I feel like you have to find the balance of speaking to someone about their trauma, but also not be like overbearing. You don't want to push them too much because that can re-traumatize them. So I feel like going to a professional would be key, especially if you don't know what to do. But for anybody that is older and is dealing with this, you have to learn who you truly are outside of your family. For a long time, I did not do that. I felt like I had to be quiet, not share how I felt about certain situations because of family. I didn't want to be a problematic person, and it hurt me. You don't want family to influence or manipulate you into something that you're not comfortable with. And that means forgiving the abuser when you're not ready to, if you are ever ready to be around the abuser, to talk about it when you're not comfortable talking about it. Anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, don't do it. You have to find your voice, even if it's making people mad. You have to set boundaries, and you don't have to explain why you made those boundaries. You just make them, and you tell someone clearly, like, I should have spoke up. And I'm glad that I can't say I'm not glad, because I feel like everything happens for a reason, and why things happen is for a reason. If I had set a boundary, if I knew about boundaries back then and said, yes, I forgave my uncle for hurting me, but I don't want to be around him. I do not want him to come around me. And that's it. I don't care what anyone thinks, but that's just what I'm doing. I don't want him around me. If I had set that boundary and stood on that boundary back then when my uncle got out of prison and I forgave him, that would have helped me. And I have to realize that. So now that I am in a more healed place, I realize that I should have done that. But by me learning this, now I can help someone else. You have to realize that family is not everything. It's hard to say. It's hard for me to say because I love my family. I love the aspect of family. I am for family. But when family is not for you as being the victim or survivor of trauma, then that's just that. If they say anything to you that is mean, or it's trying to make you seem like the bad person dealing with your trauma, they're not for you. And it's unfortunate, it's sad, but some family, it's just not that. They don't know how to be anything other than closed-minded people that are just brainwashed to think about family. The aspect of what goes on in this house stays in this house, meaning stays in the family. No one should know about it. You deal with it in the family and you fix it in the family, but it never gets fixed. Just because someone is related to you does not mean they can mean to you. Oh, that's your uncle. It's okay if they talk to you any kind of way. That's your dad. It doesn't matter who it is. They should not be mean to you or treat you any kind of way. Set boundaries. It's hard, but it's really needed. It's always a way to do things. It's always a way to express how you feel in a positive, respectful way. And for a long time, I did not know how to do that. Dealing with my trauma, I really haven't had to deal with someone saying anything about it. It's always been a thing to not say anything about it. Now that I'm grown and in my stage of growth and healing, if anyone were to bring it to my attention about something, I would have the tools to say things in a respectful way if it's presented to me in a respectful way. Navigating through trauma in itself is hard, but navigating through family and trauma and dealing with a predator in the family, it's even harder. But don't lose yourself in your family because that's all you know. Get to know yourself. Get in a place of you knowing yourself so well that you don't have to worry about anyone else around you. Those people that want to be in your life and that are nice to you, that respect you, that respect your boundaries, those are just those extra blessings that you have. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.